we can talk about this topic, and of course, we continue the same stuff that has been happening in the world and in the UK, and we have a statement by Jordan Peterson on Piers Morgan. I have already expressed my opinion on about Piers, but I want, in this case, was Jordan Peterson speaking about these matters, and I wanted to comment on his ideas because, well, we want to know what he has to say. It's heartening to hear such unflinching honesty about the state of our nation and the dire need for Britain to rediscover its backbone, to rediscover its spine. Let's watch this.
Has put Canada in the doldrums that it's in, and is also responsible for the state of your country, which is dreadful. And it's I don't know if you guys in the UK understand how sad it is for us in Canada and in the United States to watch what you're doing to yourself.
He says that what the UK is doing to itself, or what you in the UK are doing to yourself. But to be fair, most people, the majority of people in the UK, and you can see it in Douglas Murray's book, by the way, The Strange Death of Europe, you can realize that the majority of people in the UK have voted against this unfettered influx of migrants, this immigration. They have voted against that. They are against it. So it's not like, oh no, yeah, we really don't care. We want to be. We are doing this to ourselves. At some point, I can acknowledge that I might have suggested it. Oh yeah, the UK, the people in the UK did this to themselves. No, actually, no. They didn't. They have voted against it. They have been vocal against that. They have expressed their opinion. We don't want these people coming into our country. Oh no, you're racist. What is UK? What is UK culture? When we have those, diversity is our strength, which we know it's not. But that is a bit misleading. No, the UK hasn't done it to people in the government, people in power. The puppet masters have made sure. The globalists have made sure to do this to the UK, to make sure that these horrific crimes happen, and Britons can't do anything about that. And if they just barely complain on Facebook, oh, I don't want to see that many Palestine flags on my street. No, you go to jail. Then you go to jail. That is what happening in the UK. You cannot even have an opinion on Facebook because you go literally to jail.
I mean, the UK is a great country.
It is.
When I go there, I go to Oxford, I go to Cambridge, to these remarkable places in London, see your unbelievable deep history, understand how much the world owes the UK in terms of, say, the establishment of common law and decent government everywhere.
Yeah, we have all that story. We have all that legacy worldwide. And the legacy itself and the tradition and the culture of the UK is so rich, it's so impressive that in such a, let's say by country's standards, such a tiny group of islands, we could say, it has so much influence, so much power, so much tradition and culture over centuries, and it's killing itself from within because a group of people, I don't know, maybe they hate the country so much, they hate everything so much, they want it destroyed. They want to be the instruments of the UK's destruction, which is happening in Canada as well, and it was what was happening in the United States as well. And well, it was really lucky that Biden, let's say that he was pushed aside, that they put the DEI higher to be the one in command, and you know what happened in the end. People could see beyond the charade. But well, let's continue.
Including places like India, We owe the UK such an immense debt. And to watch you guys like spiral yourselves into the ground.
That again, spiral yourselves into the ground. Nobody in the UK, I would say that virtually, we could say that the majority, like 99% of the people are against this. But it's the people in power, the people who have been in power who allowed for this. Following, I don't know, maybe following the example of Angela Merkel on Germany. Thank you very much, Angela. You really sucked at your job. You really sucked at your job. Oh yeah, that she was great as no, she was one of the worst things to happen to Germany, and one of the worst things to happen to Europe, and one of the worst things to happen to the world. I mean, you can have many opinions, but there's no denying that thanks to her, which what was the expression? Which wir schaffen das. Or I don't know. We can do it. Something I don't remember the German expression. Oh, we can do this. Yeah, we can absorb all these people coming from these countries in conflict, because it's this self-imposed guilt. Because no, Germany hasn't recovered from the guilt they feel from the vegan painter. Man, the vegan painter died decades ago. That there's this new generations that want to do things right that had nothing to do with the vegan painter or the people who were for his atrocities. And no, that they have this. You have to punish yourself. You have to put your head down. You have to punish yourself. You're guilty of this. No. Yeah, boutique mutts. Exactly that. And that shouldn't work like that doesn't work like that. I am not guilty. If somebody did something bad in Venezuela like 50 years ago or 70 years ago, yeah, I have nothing to do with that. Imagine international tyrant who wanted to create a genocide in Venezuela 70 years ago. I don't care. I was born in the 70s. The guy was long dead when I was born. How could I be guilty of that? But that is the problem with German, and that German guilt exacerbated the problem everywhere. That is the reality. That is the reality of what happened.
For this idiot, weak political correctness that's gone so far that you can allow your working class women to be raped en masse, sadistically, and say nothing about it, and gaslight people who are telling the truth. It's so sickening. It's so demoralizing.
I mean, again, as I see on the live chat, I disagree with Piers Morgan. I don't trust Piers Morgan in the least. I disagree with Jordan Peterson in some things. I agree with him in others. I agree with some things that Piers Morgan says, but when we can agree that this is premeditated, that this destruction is premeditated, is on purpose, and it's unacceptable to just face it and not be able to do anything about it, because you're going to, as simple as if you criticize the government, then as I did many times, the UK government, I wouldn't go to the UK right now. It would be far too dangerous for me, because I should be in every single, I don't know, the MI6, the MI5, every MI. I'm in that. I'm in those lists. That is not how a democracy works. That is a tyranny. It was intentional.
It's almost unspeakable. We all pray, hope and pray here in Canada and the US that you get your act together and grow some spine again.
Again, that is a bit, yeah, it's growing a spine, but what do you pretend? I mean, Jordan Peterson has a point. I'm going to say it. Yeah, Michael Cleland started with Tony Blair. We can say that it started with Tony Blair. Maybe I got my facts wrong. I would love to be corrected. I am not an expert in the topic, but yeah, Tony Blair had a lot to do with that. It's a bit preachy the way that Peterson approaches you have to grow a spine. Yeah, it's easy it's easy for you to say it because see, this is about the average Briton when we're talking about the UK, or the average Canadian if we're talking about Canada. It's not like you can raise your voice, and it's as simple. It's like the same with Venezuela. It's not like you can raise your voice against the government. They will disappear you. They will disappear you. Nobody will know about you again. And you will be disappeared. That is going to happen. Oh, you have to grow a spine. It's the same case of Venezuela. We have fought on the streets. We have been gassed. We have been shot at. We have done everything in our power. But this is something that this is a monster that we had to fight, saving the distances. In the case of the UK, you are fighting a monster that is using law, is using a literal two-tier justice system to make you, like banned, right, into submission. You have to. They are making you banned into submission with this. That is the problem. That is the big issue. So Peterson say that, oh, you have to grow a spine. Man, we can say many things. We can try to vote people into the government, but if the Tories kept their mouth shut about the rape gangs, and Labour also kept their mouth shut, both of them being in different stages of power in the country, then what can you expect? You're trying to vote people and to say, hey, we want this sorted out. We don't want people from abroad flooding our country. We want people to be punished. We want people to be deported. We want people to be hanged. I don't know, do something about this. And they do nothing. What do you expect? Do people go to the streets, take to the streets to get be in jail? Oh, then how do we take our country back? Boiling pot. Boiling pot. I was saying that on the Keir Starmer part. This is a boiling pot. This is boiling, and this is going to explode at some way or another. One way or another. It's either that, or you lose your country. It's that simple. It's I would like to give you hope. Oh yeah, things are gonna be okay. But unless people do something, which you know how careful one has to be when you have a platform. What something do you mean, Jesus? Well, if you do the same that you have done so far, you will get the exact same results. And those exact same results have been for more than 25 years, close to 30 years of this happening, of this scandal happening. So you have to do something different. What is that difference? I leave that to your interpretation. I don't want to get into trouble, but that is a fact. If you keep doing the same, you will have the same results.
And put your damn country back together and stand up to these bloody psychopathic bullies and the woke green mob.
Okay, how do you exactly stand up to Keir Starmer if it's not on social media? That's something that I can do, for example. I am not physically in the UK, so maybe I can criticize Keir Starmer. Maybe I can point out what is going on. Maybe I can amplify. That is my responsibility because I know that's something that I can do. And besides the body language, besides all the commentary, pointing this out, bringing awareness to this is something that has to be done. And I really appreciate not only the live chat, but the comments that told me, Jesus, you have to address this urgently. You have to address this as urgent as possible. Yeah, you used to talk about celebrities. You used to talk about the royals and non-royals, but they are urgent topics in the world that need to be addressed yesterday. This is something that we can do. We can start from there and publicly shame these people online. Shame Keir Starmer. Shame all the people that turn a blind eye to this. That is where we can begin. And as for the actions and taking your country back, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. So I will highlight your